And secularization, I'm not sure, in my perspective, has too much effect on the way we celebrate Eid integrally, because we still go for our Eid prayer, we still give our Eld-El-Fitr, we still do our sadaqah, our takbir.
You can do that via Zoom?
These are things that are personal. But I like the fact that you mentioned Zoom. Many of us have family members that are strewn across the world. And so sometimes we do have Zoom ceremonies, for example. So at the end of the day on Eid-El-Fitr, we all link up on a Zoom call with family members all over the world just to wish ourselves well as part of the Eid celebration. So that is like a bonus. Sometimes you don't have to go all the way to Zoom.
But you can't skip the Eid ground and decide to just maybe stream and do it.
You cannot do that if you have access to go to the Eid ground.
What if you don't have access?
So if you don't have access, Eid prayer itself is what we call a supererogatory prayer. It's the sunnah, although it's an emphasized sunnah. So if you can, it is almost compulsory. One of the ustazis mentioned that even the women that are not going to pray are expected to be there because we want to be together at that point. But we do have some Muslims that are up in space, that are on ships, that are sailing in ships, or at the time of Eid, they are on duty in the hospital, whatever it may be, that may not make it possible for them to go to the Eid ground. But they are still having that sense of worship. They will be doing the takbirs, the Allahu Akbar, the Allahu Akbar, even if they cannot be at the Eid ground. Some people stream Saudi Eid prayer just to have that sense of Eid, but they are not expected to pray behind the Saudi Imam or to pray. Like, you can do your nawafil, but it's not an Eid prayer because you are not with the rest of the community.
What happened during COVID-19, actually?
COVID was interesting for a lot of people. In my house, we prayed as a family.
Okay.
So my husband, my children, and myself, we prayed outside our house. In some communities, the estates were able to still get 3-4, like if you're living in a compound, maybe 3-4 families together. So maybe the other ustazis will have different experiences of how they prayed the Eid during COVID. So, but those are exceptions that are acceptable. Allah is very merciful to us, and Islam is a religion that encompasses everything. There's a ruling for everything. There's a ruling for exceptions. There's a ruling. Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar. Islam is a complete religion. Everything has been taken care of, even if not specifically stated. Things like Google. If you look deep into Islam, you will find something, a ruling that you can link to how do we use social media. That's the beauty of Islam. And then we have our scholars that keep on researching and finding things that are, you can use as analogies to what is happening in the modern world, even though it was not there at that time. So not to the Eid itself, not too much has changed or can change because of globalization. We can share. So like I said, we watch them in Saudi and like, wow, Allahu Akbar, they're performing their Eid. Oh Allah, make it possible for me to go there for Umrah next year. Those are some of the feelings and the vibes we get from that. As per secularization, the issue may be the celebrations that some people do after the Eid. And I think a number of the brothers here have spoken about that. We cannot go to a nightclub because you are celebrating Eid and then you are doing all sorts of evil acts. We don't want that free intermingling between the sexes. That is not part of Eid. Nothing says I can't sit and talk to my brother.
We just hold you there because the